Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Joy to you, friends. We've come to the subject of yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is saying to Arjuna, now hear the wisdom of yoga, equipped with which, O Partha, you will break the shackles of karma. Karma is energy. Karma is that every time you do something wrong, there's a little vortex of energy which settles in your spine. Somebody asked me the other day, how come I'm meditating, I'm doing the right thing, why can't I break through this heaviness in me? Well, it's all those little weights in your spine pulling you downward, sucking you downward, all the wrong deeds. I mentioned somebody who came to Mount Washington to become a monk, and he wasn't accepted. I think it was maybe because he himself left, but somebody said, what a pity he's not here, and Master's comment was, my Guru's comment was, if you could see the karma. He had more hard work to do before he could get onto that path that would help him to move quickly. But each of these karmas, each of these vortices, they're little eddies of energy in that stream of consciousness moving upward and downward. Mind you, now we're talking entirely in terms of energy. Now, in energy, I said that the fourth stage of the Patanjali eight-limbed path or eightfold path is pranayama. And during Kali Yuga, which we have come out of now, contrary to modern Indian belief, the dark age is no longer. We are in Dwapara, in the age of energy. And I could justify that time, but not today. In Dwapara, they didn't know anything about energy, and so prana was entirely related to the breath. But in truth, prana means, above all, energy. And why would it mean both energy and breath? Because the two are very intimately related. When your energy is disturbed, your breath becomes disturbed. If your energy is confused, you find yourself, you can't breathe smoothly. And when you find that there's something that you really pleases you, you've been given a beautiful present, isn't that your first reaction? You inhale. And when something disappoints you, oh, that wasn't what I wanted. You see, even in our breathing, there's a connection with the energy in the spine. When you see something good, you inhale because the energy is moving up in the spine. The source of the breath is the energy moving in what are known as the Ida and the Pingala nadis, or nerve channels in the spine. If you take the skeleton of a fish, you'll see those two little lines going on either side of the spine. Those in your body are the Ida and the Pingala. They write it IDA, but there's a dot under the I. And the way to pronounce that D with the dot under is R. You have your tongue at the back and push it forward. So Ida and Pingala. Anyway, it's a little lesson in accents and pronunciation. But the point is that the Ida channel that takes you upward is accompanied, even though it's elusive, it's your reactive process. We have to go beyond the reactive process. But again, here is where yoga comes in handy. Usually people react out there. But if you can understand that your real reactive process is inside, I'm enjoying that present because of an upward movement in my spine. The present has raised energy in me, and it's my own energy that I'm enjoying, not the fact of that present, not even just the fact that I've defined it as something pleasurable, and therefore I react pleasurably. But get to the reaction itself, it's this upward movement of energy in the spine. And when you're unhappy or depressed or anything, there's a downward movement. And you'll see this in people's posture, in the way they sit, in the way they look, in the way they move. People who are happy all the time, it looks as if they're almost ready to dance, to fly. There's a lightness in their consciousness. And people who are unhappy, and their body sags forward, everything looks down, they're down, their eyes look down, their mouth turns down, everything, the energy moving downward in the spine is what's causing that downward movement. Now, obviously, I said that the energy flow is what is what accounts for the breath. Obviously, every time you inhale, it would be absurd to see people breathing. It would be absurd. But it is a truth that underlying your breathing, there is an inner energy that is going more upward or more downward. We have to be concerned not with just that little nudging energy that brings the energy in and up, which causes the inhalation, but we have to be concerned over that general tendency toward upness or that general tendency toward negativity, toward downness. Positiveness, a positive attitude, or a negative attitude. These don't depend on the world outside you. They depend on you. Yogananda used to say if there are two negative people in a class, they'll always smell each other out. Well, we have to try to mix with positive people. The company that you keep has a very definite effect on you. You know, where there's a flow of energy, there's magnetism, a flow of magnetism. And this is true in electricity, and it is much more true even on a spiritual level. So people whose energy is basically up, they will emit a positive energy, and people will enjoy being with them. Or if their energy is down, people will feel pulled down by it. And mind you, negative people don't like being around positive people. They're sort of grumbling, oh, you're always seeing things in sentimental ways. This is reality. What is real? It depends on the way it affects you and your attitude, what you take of it. Things are neither positive nor negative. They are neutral. Every experience is neutral. The most glaring disappointment, failure, tragedy, if you can take it in the right way, it won't hurt you. But your reaction to life is what determines whether your life will be pleasing or displeasing. So the first thing we need to do is gain control over the breath. When the inhalation is stronger than the exhalation, then you will be more positive. What we want to do finally is balance the two. But when your exhalation is stronger, then it's negative. In sleep, the exhalation is 2 times as long as the inhalation. There's a whole science of breath. And in the end, what you find is that your breath becomes sucked out of your body and you go breathless, because that means that the energy has been drawn at the base of the spine into the deeper spine, the sushumna, and that is when the energy can rise in the spine toward the brain and bring you enlightenment. Mind you, this is a very universal but also very deep study, and I can't cover it easily in 10 minutes, but I can give you a little taste. And I think sometimes a little taste is perhaps the best way to get into a subject. So, joy to you.